So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the difference between pessimism and optimism, and about why you have to be an optimist to be a great business developer. I think the pessimism-optimism thing is a huge challenge, especially for people who, like me, I used to be a lawyer, they're lawyers or they're accountants or they're other professional consultants. Why? Because your job involves scanning for problems. You're brilliant at pessimism. This could go wrong, that could go wrong, there's this potential liability, this potential breach of regulation, there's this risk. It's great, your clients love you for it, they pay you money for it, you solve these problems once you've found them. But actually it's a real challenge if you want to get clients, because if you have that kind of thinking, you're going to really struggle with business development. When you look at the emotional intelligence competency profiles of successful rainmakers, they tend to be highly developed in optimism. If you want to have a look at this in more detail, you might want to look at a book called Learned Optimism by an amazing guy called Martin Seligman. Professor Seligman is the godfather of the positive psychology movement. He's the head of the positive psychology department at Pennsylvania University. I'm doing some online positive psychology courses there at the moment. Let me explain it to you quickly. He says that optimists and pessimists think differently. They have a different, what he calls, explanatory style. What he means is they hear little voices in their head that are a bit different. And by the way, if you hear little voices in your head like this, you're quite normal. So when you lose that pitch and you go away and you're thinking it over, is your thinking permanent, pervasive, personal? Permanent, I'm never going to be any good at this pitching stuff. Pervasive, maybe I'm no good at business development. And personal, it's me who blew that pitch. I didn't answer that question well. Because optimists don't think like that. They take the setback and they keep it temporary, specific, and they look for external factors. So the optimist says, temporary, it hasn't gone so well this week, not to worry, there's next week. Specific, that particular client didn't like our pitch, but there's a different prospect next week. And they look for external factors. Gosh, they did seem really grumpy that day. Perhaps there was something difficult going on in the business. It's not necessarily my fault that they gave us such a hard time. The opposite of all that thinking is also true. If you win the big pitch, that's great unless you're a pessimist, in which case you say that win, oh, that was temporary, specific, external, we'll never win the next one next week, etc. Whereas if you're an optimist, you say, fantastic, I'm on a bit of a roll here, permanent, pervasive, personal. Optimists always outsell pessimists. Definitely work on your optimistic thinking. Thank you.